9/11, a day that changed the world forever. September 11th, 2001 is a day the world will always remember. It started as an ordinary day, but turned into one of the darkest in history. On that morning, the US faced a series of terrorist attacks that shocked not just the nation, but the entire world. Thousands of innocent people lost their lives, families were torn apart, and life as we knew it changed forever. But how did it all happen? Who was behind it? And what were the consequences? Let's dive into this tragic event and understand its impact on the world. It was a sunny, peaceful morning in New York City. The streets were busy with people heading to work or school, but at 8:46 a.m., everything changed. A plane crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Smoke and fire erupted from the building, and panic spread through the streets. At first, many thought it was just a terrible accident. But 17 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., a second plane hit the South Tower. By now, it was clear. This was no accident. It was a coordinated attack. People in the streets looked up in horror as the towers burned. Inside, thousands were trapped, desperately trying to escape. Firefighters and police rushed to save lives, knowing the danger they were heading into. Then came more shocking news. At 9:37 a.m., a third plane crashed into the Pentagon, the heart of America's military. And at 10:03 a.m., a fourth plane, United Airlines Flight 93, crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. Brave passengers fought the hijackers, preventing the plane from reaching its target, possibly the White House or Capitol. By 10:28 a.m., both towers of the World Trade Center had collapsed, leaving a cloud of smoke and rubble. Nearly 3,000 lives were lost, including firefighters, police officers, and people from over 90 countries. Families were shattered and the world was in shock. The attacks left the US in chaos. Flights were grounded, cities went into lockdown, and rescue workers worked tirelessly to find survivors. President George W. Bush addressed the nation, promising justice for those responsible. His words, "We will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail," gave hope to millions. But fear and confusion spread across the country. Airports became stricter with security checks. New laws like the Patriot Act allowed the government to monitor citizens more closely. People were scared, and many innocent Muslims faced discrimination because of their religion. Despite the fear, there was also unity. People lit candles, held memorials, and came together to support one another. Around the world, nations stood in solidarity with the US, showing that even in darkness, humanity could unite. Soon, the US identified the mastermind behind the attacks, Osama bin Laden, leader of the terrorist group Al-Qaeda. He had been planning the attacks from Afghanistan, under the protection of the Taliban government. The US demanded the Taliban hand him over, but they refused. This led to the invasion of Afghanistan, marking the start of the war on terror. For years, bin Laden evaded capture. He moved between secret hideouts, always one step ahead. Then, in 2011, US intelligence discovered his location in Abbottabad, Pakistan. On May 2, a team of Navy SEALs launched a secret operation. After a tense 40 minutes, bin Laden was killed. His death was a significant moment, but it didn't end terrorism. The world remained on high alert, and the fight against extremism continued. The effects of 9/11 were felt everywhere. In the US, life changed drastically. Airport security became stricter, and surveillance programs expanded. Sadly, many innocent Muslims faced hate and violence due to rising Islamophobia. Families were broken, jobs were lost, and communities suffered. Globally, the US launched wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, costing trillions of dollars and leading to millions of displaced people. Refugee crises grew, and war zones became everyday realities for many. At the same time, companies producing weapons and military equipment made massive profits, showing how war can be a business for some. But amidst the pain, there were stories of hope. People from all over the world came together to help those in need. Charities, organizations, and individuals worked tirelessly to rebuild communities and support victims. 9/11 changed the world forever. It was a day of tragedy, but also a reminder of human resilience. As we remember the lives lost, let's also learn from this history. Let's strive to create a world where understanding, compassion, and peace prevail over hate and violence. Together, we can build a brighter future. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more updates.